So here we are for the penultimate round of the season, and we are still in the same place like we did last round in Indianapolis to the American Grand Prix, but this is the Indy 500 Grand Prix. Yep, we are doing the Indy 500 track with the F2 drivers back for this penultimate round. So, what will happen this race? Can Giuseppe Farina hold on to the lead of the championship? Let's get on to the F2 and F1 qualifying sessions and find out where we go from there. So here we are for the qualifying session around the Indy 500 track. Now the question is, who among the F2 drivers is going to get pole position and who is going to get the important win as we come into this round? With Jim McGrath in first place, but he's only first by 5 points ahead of Luigi Villaressi in second, followed by Pier Taruffi. So 7 drivers in the championship still can win the championship. Jim McGrath, Villaressi, Taruffi, Trintignant, Hanks, Simon and Brown. They're the only 7 that can win the championship. And going to this race, Tony Allman making his debut for West Germany after being demoted to F2 in place of Hans Stuck. And we also have Dwayne Carter debuting in his home country since Troy Ruttman has been permanently suspended for the rest of the season, and Sam Hanks has gone over to F1 to take his seat. So here goes Trintignant coming towards the line, and it is a 49.5, a pretty quick time, but will that give him pole position and the 3 bonus points? I mean, he will need the bonus points badly because he is 21 points behind the championship leader, and with only technically 4 races left, and about 70 points up for grab. 76 points up for grabs. Every single point is going to matter. If Luigi Villaressi now takes pole position, Dwayne Carter on his debut taking the lead. So Dwayne Carter showing that he is an excellent replacement for Sam Hanks. Maybe will he be a future F1 driver? Who knows? So about Dwayne Carter, looks like Dwayne Carter is going to improve his time even further. I think it was like 300 to a second quicker in the first sector, coming on to sector 2, and this is Tony Allman saying his first F2 time at 51.9. Now Pier Taruffi, the man who is currently third in the championship, is currently in third behind his teammate Villaressi. Here comes Dwayne Carter coming towards the line, and does he better his time? Luigi Villaressi improves his time, and Dwayne Carter does. He improves it by about 50 thousandths of a second. And there's the championship leader Jim McGrath saying a 49.5 down in 4th position. So as it stands, the lead will be reduced to 3 points. And here goes Maurice Trintignant coming out to start another run. Now all 10 drivers have finally set time. The top 8 all setting times within 49 seconds. And the 2 West German drivers in 51. So Willie Heeks and Tony Allman. So Tony Allman being the slowest so far. Not great, especially after being demoted. And Luigi Villaressi goes into second. Dennis Pur improves his time in 8th. Andrew Simon, I think, temporarily took second of Villaressi, but Villaressi went and clawed it back. I'm going board with the Frenchman. Okay, he's coming into the pits. And we're going board Dennis Pur coming across the line. Can he improve his time? No, he cannot. So he stays in the back row of the grid. I mean, it will mean he'll be on the front for the reverse race, but not great. Maurice Trintignant improving his time in 6th place. And someone improved their time now. I think it was Willie Heeks, but he does stay in 8th place. Dwayne Carson, hundreds down on his best lap. What about Luigi Villaressi? Can he catch up to Carter? A 10th of a second down. He's only 7 thousandths of a second off pole position. That's pretty impressive for the Italian. And Dennis Pur has improved his time. So has Alan Brown. The 2 Brits have improved the time. And so Pur gets out of the back row and into the top 3. So he might get a bonus point. Unfortunately, Dennis Pur is actually out of the running to win the championship. But his teammate Alan Brown is just barely in it. Whereas Trinity improves his time, but he stays in 7th. It's really a bad day for the championship leaders. That's Jim McGrath down in 8th position. It means he's starting the second row in the reverse race, but in the main race, well, he's going to have a considerable amount of ground to make up, especially if he wants to stay ahead of Villaressi and Taruffi in the F2 Drivers' Championship. What time is all going to be set? Is he going to improve his time? I don't think he's going to get a 10th position, it looks like. And no, he's not going to improve his time. He is not going to be close to improving his time. Pierre Taruffi improves his time, he goes into 4th position. He's right behind the 2 West German drivers of Heeks and Allman. I'm going to try and go to the inside. Might be 3 wide going into turn number 3. It is 3 wide. And we're going to have contact between Taruffi and Allman. It looks like Taruffi makes his way through, gets past the 2 West German drivers. That's the end of the session. Pierre Taruffi goes to finish his time, but it doesn't really matter. And I believe that's Allman going into the pits, so Allman is going to end the session and end up in last place. Oh no, it's Willie Heeks that went to the pits, not Allman. But that's the end of the session for most. It's going to wait for everyone else to come across the line. Doesn't look like anyone's going to improve their times. But Dwayne Carter, on his debut, gained pole position. That is an amazing way to make your debut. So Dwayne Carter taking pole position and taking 3 bonus points because of that. In second place is, of course, Luigi Villaressi, of course, trying to keep his charge to lead the championship pretty much alive. And Dennis Poor, an amazing session from him, getting 3rd place in qualifying and getting 1 bonus point. So before we get to the F2 reverse and main races, it's time for the F1 qualifying session. So here we are for the F1 qualifying session around the Indy 500. Who's going to come out and set the benchmark? We've already got some people coming out. Mike Hawthorne looks like he's the first row out, eager to set the benchmark time. And a few other drivers are also eager to set out as we're waiting for the all camera to focus on one of them and see. Okay, so it's Ernst Klodwig we're going to be focusing. So Klodwig goes out, starting after Gonzalez and Hawthorne. Coming into this race, we've got Farina, Mansell, Ascari, Hawthorne, Stevenson, and Wharton are the only 6 drivers in contention to win the F1 Championship. And in the F1 Nations table, it comes down to either Italy or France to win the first ever Formulalympic Nations Championship. In the Nations Championship, Italy are in fact 38 points ahead of France. So France have got all to do if they want to take down Italy and win the Nations competition. In the F1 Drivers' Championship, Farina leads by only 3 points ahead of second place Robert Manzon. Kim Wharton is in 6th, which is the last spot in contention to win the championship, but he's exactly 40 points behind, so Kim Wharton is in a pretty unlikely situation. He might catch Farina, but in the Formulalympics, regardless if it's F1, F2, or it's come down to the nations table, anything is possible. Of course, in this race we do have the return of Ray Fisher. Mike Hawthorne setting the benchmark 46.7. Gonzalez sets at 46.4, sorry. So Gonzalez already setting a time 3/10 faster than the benchmark. So here comes Ernst Klodwig. What's his time? His time is going to be 52.0. Fritz Reese sets a 48.3. Hans Stuck 47.1. Hans Stuck probably been the highlight for West Germany this season, just being a very, very late starter in Formula 1. Giuseppe Farina is second, the championship leader, 2/10 ahead of Hawthorne, only about 10 behind Gonzalez. Ken Wharton. We mentioned Ken Wharton earlier, and look at Hawthorne improved time to second, so we've got both Brits on the front row as it stands. And Ken Ward, despite being a very unlikely contender to win the championship, has gone and set its first time under 46 seconds. Johnny Claes is now in second place, very impressive for Belgium. Mike Hawthorne is now third, with Gonzalez fourth. So there's definitely going to be a few surprises. Hans Stuck improving his time for West Germany in fifth position. Giuseppe Farina staying at 46.4, going to third. Especially when it comes to qualifying. Robert Manson, the man who's challenging Farina for the title, goes into second, pushes Farina out to the top three. Tour de Grafenried goes into third, with Johnny Claes in improving his time. He's in fourth place. And we've got a few people still yet to set a time. Sam Hanks in his home race going into second position. And this Rui Fischer on his return goes into fourth, 2 spots ahead of his teammate Tour de Grafenried. So almost everyone has set a time. It's waiting for somebody. Ascari, the last person set time. Ascari in 13th position. The man who has been the favourite to win the championship, down in third place, down by 9 points for his own teammate. So Ascari down 13th, not a great time. And we've got 3 drivers who set times over 49 seconds. That's Kraus, Loaf and Glodwig. Oh, we've had a big crash in the pit lane! Huge crash! What on earth has happened here? Okay, we'll need to get a replay of that. What on earth happened there? Okay, we'll find Rui Fischer. There he is. Okay, what on earth happened here? Okay, this is coming round turn 4. Oh, huge contact between him and Stuck. I think Hans Stuck may have... looks like Hans Stuck may have lost control of his car. And he's trying to go... Oh, yeah, his car definitely snapped. Okay, I think he was trying to go... Oh, okay, that was a very weird moment there. I think Hans Stuck tried to go the out... was either trying to go the outside or just lost control of the car. Yeah, it's absolute chaos. Fritz Rees was somehow involved among all this. So let's see with Rees's perspective. Did he get caught up by the incident? He was trying to go to the pit lane. Oh no, it's a separate incident with Laurent. Was that Bianco? Okay, so we had 2 separate incidents happening around at the same time. That is incredibly bizarre. I think Laurent was trying to go into the pit, but Bianco was in the way. Yeah, Bianco wouldn't let him go to the pits, and then Laurent lost him. Rees got collected. So we saw the Laurent and Rees incident, but the Fischer and Stuck incident was far different. Now Farina's been caught up in all this. And look at this. This tries trying to get into the pits. Oh man, this incident between Laurent and... Oh, okay, now this has turned into a complete disaster. Yeah. This has started off a massive chain reaction, that's for sure, and this is definitely going to ruin. This is definitely going to ruin most of the drivers' sessions now. You've got him coming. Okay, so he's in the pits. This man's on. Oh my word! That's Rudolf Kraus that's Stuck. And I think I just saw one of his wheels, his back wheels, going through the ground, which is a bit weird. But yeah, that was both bizarre and catastrophic. It's catastrophic for most people. Ascari improves time, goes to the 4th. Stevenson improves time, he's in 11th. Stevenson, the sole American still in contention for the championship, but he's only 11th, which is not exactly great. Especially since he wants to try and keep his championship fight alive, for sure. But anyway, so Wharton and Hanks are the only 2 drivers to set times under 46 seconds. So first to last, separating by about 6 seconds, with 110% time. I think that's be subject to some drivers not qualifying. But Wharton does hold on to the lead. The championship is a Sky going to the pits. Here comes Hawthorne coming across the line. He does not improve his time. He stays in 12th. Now will he'll try and go around again. Hopefully he'll improve his time. Staying out at least, so he's going to finish his lap. And Giuseppe Farina is going to improve his time, but he doesn't improve his possession. Tula de Graffenried goes into pole. Tula de Graffenried could end up getting his first ever, I believe this will be his first ever top 3, so first ever bonus points. What a time to do that for the Swiss driver. Okay, it's all quite close together, coming across the line. And Giuseppe Farina does not improve his time, but Rui Fischer does. Oh, are we going to have a Swiss 1-2? That would be very, very interesting. An all Swiss front row. Who would have thought that would happen? Not me, that's for sure. This Chuck Stevenson is struggling to improve his time at the back of the group. Okay, we've got, I believe that's Rui Fischer into the pits. Chuck Stevenson improves time. He goes into 6th place. Okay, and now we've got Mike Hawthorne coming out. Robert Manson, the man who's battling Farina. There he is, will he improve his time of 5th place? No, he won't. He'll still. Oh, he does improve his time, but he's still in 5th. Okay, but my question is, will that be enough for him to get within 110%? Probably not. Stevenson and Farina improve their times. They go into 5th and 6th. So Manson is dropped down to 7th. But his time is slipping really badly here. He is nowhere near going to improve his best time of the session. Yeah. Okay, but with 25 seconds left to go, this is going to be his final lap. If we go on board with this Farina again, chasing Tula de Graffenried, the current pole sitter. So this is going to be a very, very shocking result. So it's going to be a huge surprise, but it'll be an amazing day for Switzerland if this turns out to happen. And it's not, because Stevenson has improved his time. He goes into the lead. Hawthorne drops to 8th. Graffenried and Fischer slip down to 2nd and 3rd. Both drivers will still get bonus points, so it'll still be a both Swiss drivers in the top 3. Okay, checking out. Johnny Clay's going into 5th now. Okay, still room. So it looks like we're still gonna have some last-minute dramas on the during qualifying, but I think that's the end of the session. Wow, what a session that was! This is a great day for the Swiss team, 2nd and 3rd. Chuck Stevenson getting pole position, so 3 bonus points, definitely going to keep his tail charge alive. Giuseppe Farina 7th and Ascari 10th. They'll both be severely disappointed, especially for Team Italy, while they're trying to keep ahead of the French team. But the French team are 8th and 13th, so they're not exactly in a much better position than the Swiss team. But what a day for Switzerland, what a day for Johnny Claes. In the penultimate round, they have absolutely shown in this session. So with that exciting session out of the way, it's time for the F2 reverse and main races. And here we are for the reverse grid race for the F2 around Indianapolis, with the 2 West Germans on pole since they were the 2 slowest, and Dwayne Carter in his debut getting pole position for the main race, so he starts in 10th. Who's going to win the reverse grid race and win the 10 points? Let's get in and find out. With 13 laps around this race, for the reverse race, it is equivalent to 50 kilometers an hour. Let's see what's going to happen, and we are underway, and it looks like it was a good start for Tilly Ullman. Willie Heeks not so much, but here goes Jim McGrath to get ahead of Heeks. Now will he get ahead of Ullman and take the race lead, the championship leader, who's obviously trying to stay ahead of Luigi Villaresi, who's down in 8th position. But Willie Heeks comes around the outside and looks like he's going to take the lead of the race. So here's Willie Heeks leading the race. It's Ullman and Brown. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide going into turn 3. And Alan Brown barging his way through, and Alan Brown gets into the lead of the race. Meanwhile, Jim McGrath drops down to 5th, dropping out behind Tarufi. He's made his way into 3rd. Tony Allman, though, is holding on to 2nd, so which is good. And here we are already on to lap 2 of 13. So Brown leads, Allman 2nd, Tarufi 3rd, Heeks 4th. Oh, let's scratch that, make that 2nd place going to Peter Tarufi. Of course, Peter Tarufi, who's 13 points down on the championship leader of Jim McGrath. Obviously, he's got some ground to make up, especially since he wants to keep his title hopes alive. And look at this. First down to the back, separated by about 2.5 seconds. Danspur is in last place. Here goes Pierre Tarufi, goes into the lead of the race. So Tarufi leads, Brown 2nd, McGrath 3rd, Allman 4th, Heeks 5th, Villaresi 6th, Trinity on 7th, Carter 8th, Simon 9th, and at the back it is Dennis Poor from the United Kingdom. And here comes Alan Brown once again, trying to see if he can retake the lead of the race. Who's going to get the fastest lap? It is going to be Jim McGrath who takes the fastest lap at 48.5. And here's Jim McGrath in 3rd place, right behind the Italian. They're coming across the line. Will anyone beat McGrath's time? Does not look like it. No, in fact, no, Dennis Poor, the man who's towards the back, has set the fastest time of the race, and he's making his way into 6th place. So good job from the United Kingdom there. Maybe it's to do with the fact he got 3rd place in the previous oval race this season. And look at this, Allman making the making the move on McGrath to try and sneak his way into 3rd. That could be substantial for Brown and Tarufi, should it stick. And look at that, Heeks has got ahead of McGrath. This is not good for the American, especially when these two of his championship contenders are in front of them. And here goes Jim McGrath, and here's Jim McGrath making the move, try and find his way back through the West German driver. Okay, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it this time round. That's going to help Brown and Tarufi try and pull away. Look at they've got a big tussle with the rest of the field. Andrew Simon ahead of them in 5th. But here comes Trintion and Poor. And looking towards the front, it looks like Tarufi is going to try and make the move and take the lead of the race. And look at that, Pierre Tarufi does indeed go into 1st place. So Tarufi leads. Brown is now down 2nd. McGrath has managed to get back past Heeks for 3rds. As we're already coming to the halfway mark of this race. There's a very, very exciting race. The top 4 drivers. Dwayne Carter, the man who was in pole position for the main race, who's down in 9th to set the fastest lap now, and he's struggling to get past Villaresi. And Villaresi is having an absolute nightmare of a race, down in 8th place. Here Tarufi in the lead. Alan Brown's coming into the pits already. Alan Brown is going for an early pit stop. Okay, now he looks like he's going to try and get the undercut of the rest of the field, but will he be able to pull that off? Ahead of them have already covered more than half the track. Oh, we've got a big crash! Huge crash between Tarufi and McGrath. Wow, that is a big one, and we've got another big crash. Villaresi involved. Trintion is in trouble, Carter is involved, Simon's involved, and Dennis Poor involved. Okay, let's get a replay of this and figure out what on earth had happened. Okay, that seemed to come out of nowhere. Okay, let's go aboard from McGrath. Oh! He tried to was going for the outside, but Tarufi was there. Yeah, he was going for the outside. Tarufi there. Oh dear. Okay, now what about the rest of it? So that was definitely McGrath's fault there. Was he turned into by Dennis Poor? Yes, Poor turned into him, and it looks like Trintion turned into his own teammates. Yeah. Now that was very strange. Luckily, some of the drivers were involved, but looks like it's going to be loads of drivers retiring. Willie Heeks is now the race leader, and he's in the pit lane. Some of these drivers. Okay, yeah, there's definitely. This is an absolute mess. That's gonna do Brown a huge favor catching up unintentionally. Oh, look at oh man, the damage on Tarufi's rear wing is really bad. McGrath's out, Poor is out, Simon is out. So that's 3 drivers out, it looks like. Okay, and Tarufi is out and away. Willie Heeks is already gone out. But it looks like Alan Brown is going to take the lead of... No, he's not going to take the lead of the race. Willie Heeks, of all people, takes the lead of the race. Jim McGrath is in the race, leads that, but he's gone. He's all the way to the back. So, well, so McGrath has actually managed to still be in the race somehow. So look at Willie Heeks leads, Tarufi second, Brown third. Okay, Tony Allman is moving. Allman's moving. So let's see the rest. See. Okay. Okay. Looks like everyone is. Looks like. Okay. So most people are at least still in the race, but I think it's Willie Heeks. Oh, actually, no. Willie Heeks has just been passed by Pier Tarufi for the lead of the race. So this is the Italians' chance to really pull a huge gap on. Well, try and close in on McGrath, I should say. Sorry. I mean. Wow, it's going to take a lot. This is a lot to take in after seeing what happened. So about half the field have retired. So 4 drivers are retired: Trinity Young, Carter, Simon, and Poor. So we've got 6 drivers left in this race. So they're always guaranteed to score at least 3 points. So here we are, coming to the penultimate lap of the race. Let's see who the biggest gainer and loser is this race. Unsurprisingly, it is Pier Tarufi. Started 7 days way to first, and the other Italian who started from 9th. In 4th place, so not surprising the 2 Italians are the ones that are better off after the drama in the wall. But here we are, we're on the final lap. Willie Heeks still trying to put the pressure on the Italian. Pier Tarufi pushing as hard as he can to ensure he gets as many points as he can to close in on McGrath, as well as his teammate Villaresi, who's sitting in 4th for the moment. And here comes Willie Heeks, looks like he's going to the inside. Can Willie Heeks pull this off? Can he get ahead of him? It's going to be really close. It's going to probably be a full finish here. We're coming down to the last corner. Willie Heeks side by side. Is Willie Heeks going to do it? Is Tarufi going to hold on? It looks like Pier Tarufi is going to hold on and take the win for the reverse race around Indianapolis. Only a tenth of a second separating them. Alan Brown's risky strategy did not work in his favour, but the mass pile up in turn 3 definitely helped him out a lot, but he will take a podium in 3rd place. Well, what a very unexpected result we have gotten from this race. Pier Tarufi takes the win, Willie Heeks in 2nd position. That is West Germany's best ever result of the season. Alan Brown takes the final podium position in 3rd, then it's Villaresi 4th, McGrath 5th, and the last finisher is Tony Allman. So both French drivers, Dennis Poor and Carter, all DNF'd from this race after that massive pile-up. So, with how things stand, we've got the main race next. Will the main race be just as dramatic as we saw in this reverse race? Well, we are going to find out as we make our way to the main race. So here we are for the main race around Indianapolis, with the grids being normalised, with Carter and Poole and Villaresi in the front row, with the 2 West German drivers at the back. Willie Heeks, after getting an amazing 2nd place, what will he be able to do this race? Well, without further ado, let's get into the race and find out. 25 laps around this main race. Can Dwayne Carter redeem himself after what happened during the reverse grid race? And we're underway, but it does not look like a good start from Carter, but it looks like a really good start from Luigi Villaresi. Villaresi is going to be absolutely determined to do whatever he can to catch Jim McGrath in the championship, as only 2 points separate them coming into this race. So it looks like Carter already fending off the Italian nicely. We need to get the Formulalympic car back to the pit because how short the track is. There we go. There's Dwayne Carter. Got Luigi Villaresi right beside him. This Pier Tarufi, the man who won the reverse race, up into 3rd place, right beside Dennis Poor. Here we are coming out to finish the first lap of the race. It's Carter first, Villaresi 2nd, Poor 3rd, Tarufi 4th, Brown 5th, Simon 6th, McGrath 7th, Trinity on 8th, and the 2 West German drivers at the back. Coming into the first corner, Villaresi is right beside him. The car is just managing to just stick its nose out to stay in the lead of the race. Back at the front, this Dwayne Carter really under a lot of pressure from the two Italians. The two Italians are trying to get ahead of McGrath in the championship, or take the championship for themselves. So here they are going to start lap 3 of 25. And the fastest lap is going to Villaressi, no, Pier Taruffi it looks like, 49.1 as they head down to turn 1. And coming into turn 3, here comes Andrew Simon. Okay, it looks like it's going to make it 3 wide. I guess he just wasn't close enough, evidently. But Andrew Simon making his move on Pier Taruffi to get into 3rd place. So Andrew Simon coming out of nowhere to pull that off. Now coming down to the start-finish line, who's going to see the fastest lap now? And Villaressi going to take the lead. Andrew Simon setting the fastest lap now, 48.9. I think that's the fastest lap of this race. It's under 49 seconds. And there goes Andrew Simon. Once again, battling Taruffi for a podium spot as Carter is still in a really, really close battle with Luigi Villaressi. Meanwhile, we've got Jim McGrath, who's still stuck down in 7th place, as he seems not able to. It looks like it's going to be 3 wide going to turn 3. And he's going to have to back out because Dwayne Carter wasn't giving him enough room for it. So Carter still leads. Villaressi 2nd, Taruffi 3rd, Simon 4th, Brown 5th. McGrath just getting past Poor for 6th. Then it's Trintignant in 8th place. And coming in the start finish line again, Andrew Simon's going to head Taruffi. Is he going to try and make it 3 wide going to turn 1? It sure looks like it. It looks like nothing's going to come out of that though. And look at this, Luigi Villaressi has managed to take the lead of the race and he's managed to hold on to it. So Villaressi now leads with Carter down in 2nd. This is good news for Villaressi, especially since this alone will be enough to pass McGrath in the championship with only one more race after this. So Andrew Simon getting quite close to the back of Villaressi there, but thankfully it doesn't look like he hit him. As we're about to come up towards lap 6 of 25. As Carter once again battling back with Villaressi and once again taking the lead of the race. Going to the start finish line, the fastest lap going to Alan Brown now at 48.8. Alan Brown, who's sitting in 4th position, battling with Andrew Simon. And look at this, I just noticed Pier Taruffi's dropped down to 6th, McGrath has made his way to 5th. So Taruffi is clearly at some point must have made a mistake that sent him falling down the order. But just up ahead, there's Villaressi once again trying to stick his nose out to trying to lead the race off Carter, but Carter is staying put still. Dwayne Carter trying to ensure that Villaressi does not get away from him. Meanwhile, there's Andrew Simon still in a tense battle with Alan Brown for that final podium spot, but it looks like Jim McGrath's going to come into this, and Morris Trintignant on the fastest lap now, 48.4. The top 8 drivers are still within striking distance of each other. Let's see the rest of the lead, but here comes Carter once again to deny first place off the Italian. Andrew Simon Brown again still battling hard for 3rd. Who else is anyone going to sit the fastest lap of the race? Not this lap, no. And look at this, whoa, Andrew Simon, looked like he was going to try and make it 3 wide, but he's had to back out. Now Jim McGrath's going to have Alan Brown into 4th. So Jim McGrath really pushing hard in an attempt to try and catch Luigi Villaressi, and just hoping Dwayne Carter stays ahead of him, but it would do the American a huge favour that way. And here we go, trying to start lap 10 of 25 as there's Alan Brown chasing Jim McGrath again to try and regain 4th place into the inside. And it looks like he's just going to miss out on pulling it off. But Carter and Villaressi have been swapping the position for stopping 1st and 2nd for almost every lap, and it must be driving them both insane that neither of them can really make the move stick, especially with the pressurized. There's Jim McGrath. Looks like he's going to try and make a 3 wide move there, but looks like he's time to back out. Well, Jim McGrath trying to put as much pressure on Villaressi as he possibly can. Meanwhile, Pier Taruffi is down in 5th place, but in a battle with Alan Brown, looks like Here we are starting lap 11 of 25. Here comes Jim Carter once again. No, Jim McGrath once again, sorry. Jim McGrath. No, does not pull it off. Andrew Simon, however, is looking like he's going to take third place off of him. Is anyone's guess? But hang on, looks like Villaresi is in the inside. Yeah, I think Villaresi may have actually taken the lead and made it stick, actually. So if that's the case, then that's not good news for McGrath or for the American team. They're so close. They're all so close to each other. It's literally anyone's guess who's going to come out ahead. It looks like it's going to come. I bet here it's all going to come down to the pit stops. That might end up determining who's going to win the main race of the Indy 500. It might answer the question who's going to take the lead of the championship. Oh, we got a huge crash! We got a repeat of what happened in the reverse race. Simon, okay, yeah, Simon Carter is stuck. Yeah, Carter and Simon are into the wall. They're out of the wall. Looks like they're out of the race. Here comes Villaresi into the pits. So it looks like that is going to be another DNF for Carter. This is an absolute disappointment in his debut. He got pole position, and he's been he's going to end up with a double DNF because he got hit. Okay, we'll see what happened to Carter first. Okay, was he turned into by Villaresi? I imagine he did. Yes, he was turned into. Andrew Simon right behind him. What about Tarufi? Because Tarufi's definitely must have had. I don't think Tarufi. I think it was just Villaresi that did that. Yeah, Villaresi did that. No one else did. Okay, so that's definitely going to be worth taking a look at. Okay, so that's Andrew Simon out, and that's Dwayne Carter out. Very, very gutting there. Or is Dwayne Carter still in the race, or is he? No, I don't think he is. So Tarufi now leads, McGrath is into second, Poor is third, Brown fourth, Trinity on fifth, Villaresi sixth, Allman seventh, and Heeks at the back. Okay, so Carter is indeed out. Here, okay, Pierre Tarufi comes into the pits now. There's Dennis Poor behind. Ah no, McGrath and Brown have had an incident. Okay, let's see. Let's check McGrath. Okay, did McGrath get turned into by Dennis Poor? And the answer to that question is absolutely he did. And that's unbelievable for Dennis Poor there. That was very, very poor of him. Trinity and Brown are stuck behind him, big thanks to that. So I think Dennis Poor will be under investigation for that. That's for sure. Okay, Villaresi's come up to the back. He's managed to get his way around. Okay, so that's McGrath out of the race. And here goes Tarufi to come out and take the lead of the race. He's going to take lead of the race by a considerable margin, as the rest of the front runners come into the pits. So that's Tarufi in the lead. So I think Tarufi is going to have luck go his way and make it a double victory around Indianapolis, like how McGrath took the victory on the European Oval. There's Luigi Villaresi, who's seems to come out of nowhere. It looks like he's going to try to take the lead off Pierre Tarufi. He must be thinking if Tarufi finished ahead of him, he'll lead the championship instead of him. So Villaresi's definitely going to have to put his foot down if he wants to show that he is the man to be in F1 instead of Tarufi. And look how exciting this has been. McGrath out of contention, the two Italians are pretty much guaranteed to jump ahead of him in the championship. The question is, which one of them will lead going into the final round of the season? Well, who knows? Because I certainly don't. And here we are coming up to start the final lap of the race around Indianapolis, the Indy 500. So here we go. This is it. Which one's going to take the race win? Pierre Tarufi does have a is ahead by about 3/10 of a second. I think Luigi Villaresi is not out of the running yet. He could potentially get the slipstream to jump ahead of the Italian. Look at this. Luigi Villaresi trying to buy his time by saying the two back markers have essentially blocked his path to try and get ahead of Taruffi. So I think Pier Taruffi is going to win the main race like he did in the reverse race. So here, yeah, this is it. Pier Taruffi, with sheer luck and sheer brilliance, is going to win the race in the Indy 500 and potentially lead the Drivers' Championship. Villaresi is going to finish second. All we just need to wait for is Pier to get third, and the two Western drivers to finish the race. And there we have it. What a dramatic finish that was. An Italian 1-2. Dennis Poor getting a podium. It's a shame that Dennis Poor is out of the running as he doesn't have enough points to catch up. He didn't have enough points to catch up coming to this weekend. But Dennis Poor, a very, very brilliant performance indeed. Maurice Trintignant first, the drivers a lap down fourth, Alan Brown fifth, and the two Western drivers, the two last finishers, 6th and 7th. So, with that exciting race of the way, I hope you're looking forward to the F1 race, but first a reminder of the grid. So here we go, the penultimate round of the season for the Formula 1 Olympic season. Chuck Season pole position, Tour de Graffrey second, Rui Fisher and Kim Wharton share the second row of the grid. Joy Clayton, Sam Hanks are on row 3, then it's Giuseppe Farina and Robin Mansell. All eyes will be on them for the Nations Table and Drivers' Championship. Mike Cawthorne and Alberto Sky round off the top 10. Then it's Hans Stuck and Jose Fran Gonzalez in 12th, Jean Berra and Chico Landi on row 7, 15th is Fritz Ries, 16th place Jan Flinterman. Then it is Roger Laurent down 17th, Gio Bianco 18th, Alberto Crespo the last driver to qualify for this race, with both Eastern drivers and Van der Loo failing to qualify. So all eyes on the Italians and the French drivers of this race, with a couple of others that are still in contention. All eyes have been those 6 drivers to see who will remain in the running to win the Drivers' Championship for the final round, and can Italy beat France in the Nations Table at this round? Let's get into this race and find out. So here we are, the F1 race around in the Indy 500, with just one more race after this for the end of the season, with Farina currently leading the championship down in 7th, with his championship contender Mansell just 3 points behind him down in 8th. The other strong candidate to win the season is Alberto Scar, who is down in 10th. And the other 3 drivers in contention to win the championship are Hawthorne, Stevenson and Wharton, who are 1st, 4th and 9th respectively. So, with this race, who will still be in the running to win the championship going to the last round? Well, let's get into this race and find out. Okay, first we always do focus on Stevenson. And here we go, the race around the Indy 500 gets underway, and it looks like it was a good start there from Tour de Graffenried. Well, of course, the Swiss team are absolutely ecstatic that they're going to have their best qualifying of the season so far. So 2nd and 3rd. There comes Ken Wharton making his way to 3rd to get ahead of Fisher. Let's get the Formula parts back to the pits. But look at this, here comes Tour de Graffenried to try and take the lead of the race. Okay, going down to the other side of the track. We're already halfway to the first lap, and we're going having quite a lot of overtakes. Look at this, it's going 3 wide into turn 3, but Tour de Graffenried is going to cut off Wharton, and Graffenried is going to slip into 1st position, with Fisher and Wharton battling for 3rd place. Chuck Stevenson slips behind the Swiss driver of Tour de Graffenried. And here we are coming to lap 2 already, and look at this. Going to turn 1, it's going to be 3 wide, and we've had a massive spin! Wharton and Tour de Graffenried have had a massive spin, and that looks like that could be the end of Wharton. Oh no, Wharton's still going, but Tour de Graffenried, it slips all the way down the order, and look at this, causing a huge amount of traffic behind them. And this is a blessing disguised for Stevenson. He pulls a huge gap. Johnny Clace into 2nd, Fisher 3rd, Sam Hanks into 4th, and Farina 5th. Right, let's get a replay of what happened. Okay, let's get on board with Fisher, because that was very strange. Okay, so go for this angle. So here come... oh no, I'm on the wrong person. It's Grafenried I'm supposed to be on to, not Fisher. Okay, going to the right side. Oh yeah, I just caught the back of Grafenried's car, just clipped the wheel, and that sent them both spinning. Grafenried slips to 14th, Wharton down to 10th. Ascari, more importantly, all the way down in 12th position, which is not good, especially because he's trying to battle Farina and Manthon to try and get retake the championship, with Farina 4th and Manthon down in 7th. Chuck Stevens in the fast lap of 46.8. I'll be surprised if anyone beats that time after what happened on the first lap. But it's about for second. It's Rudy Fisher and Johnny Clays battling out this. There's the championship leader, Giuseppe Farina, just ahead of Mike Hawthorne, trying to see if he can slip his way into second. But of course, they're more than 4 seconds behind the leader. But it looks like Farina is going to be passed by Hawthorne. Yeah, he is slipping down the R a little bit, but it's only we're only on lap 3 of 50. Well, actually, about to start the 4th lap. So it's early days. As Farina's down 5th, just buying his time, I imagine. They come across the line. Stevenson saying the fast lap 46.7. Does anyone beat that time? Yes, Mike Hawthorne's going to beat that time. He's in 4th position. He gets Farina to the inside. Oh! Hawthorne Clays looked a little bit too close for comfort there, but at least all 3 of them have made it through turns 1 and 2 safely. With Giuseppe Farina just still right behind. Oh, we've got trouble! Hans Stuck's in trouble, he's into the wall. Okay, let's get a replay of Stuck and find out what happened. Okay, the West German down in 11th. Was there contact? Oh, there was a huge shunt there from Gigolandi. Gigolandi sends Hans Stuck into the wall, and that looks like that's probably the end of him. It looks like he's not moving. And that's Giuseppe Farina, and I'm still battling, still battling for second. There's Fisher and Manthorn right behind. Fisher's behind him and Manthorn behind him. I'm starting to talk from my excitement, as you can probably tell. With Fisher and Farina right behind him. There goes Farina going around the inside. Going to try and slip his way through the Belgian and Brett. Sam Hanks at the fastest lap. He is in 7th. And going down to turn 1. Ooh, actually saw he clipped Clays there, but either way, Clays hasn't been spun round. That's what matters. And the kick goes Robert Manthorn to try and slip his way past the championship leader. Of course, Manthorn is only 3 points behind the Italian in the championship. Okay, coming down to turn 1. Man, with how closely packed these drivers are, I fear like this might be setting itself up for a massive pile-up. But I could be entirely wrong with that. I mean, we've already had 2 big incidents within the first 5 laps, as we're on lap 7 of 50. I think Stevens is actually catching up to lap. Oh, we had a huge spin! And that's Johnny Clays. His spot has crashed. Is Clays still going? Yes, he's still moving, but he's now out of the top 10. Okay, let's get a replay of that incident. I feared that was going to happen. Oh, Robert Manthorn got him. Manthorn goes into the back of Clays, and that sent him to the wall. Okay, so Stevenson leading this Hawthorne bridge. It's got a big, considerable gap. Oh, look at this. Hawthorne's going to the back marker. Oh, that's Tula de Grafenried that's at the back. Oh, right. So Tula de Grafenried's, the spin with Tula de Grafenried has caused a huge problem. And speaking of that, his teammate just going to set the fastest lap. Okay, so Tula de Grafenried must have sustained so much damage that it's completely compromised the car. And look at them, they've all got to deal with Tula de Grafenried. Okay, Bear looks like okay, Bear's through first. What about the championship leader? Well, nope, the championship leader is right behind Tula de Grafenried, but not able to get past as Wharton's going right past him. It's getting a little bit okay. Are we going to have another incident on turn 1? Doesn't look like it. Farina slips down to 8th, which is really not good, especially when second place is in the championship is currently up in 4th. But his teammate who's starting the championship is down 10th, so at least he's ahead of Ascari. And there's Romance and Fisher, and still in a tough fight for 3rd place. For the position, there's Giuseppe Farina. He's been caught up by Gonzalez and Ascari. And here goes Alberto Ascari, and he sets the fastest lap of the race of 45.2, and this is like that. Ascari goes into 8th, with the championship leader slipping down the order, and as it stands, Mansell's going to retake the lead, and we'll have quite a healthy margin going to the final race of the season. In fact, really Fisher's caught up to Mike Hawthorne for second. Mansell's dropped back, so I'm guessing he must have had problems with lapped cars. But look at this, Hawthorne closing in on Stevenson as well. They're now under a second. They're now under a second behind him. Here goes the Swiss driver. Can he get past Hawthorne? Of course, Hawthorne is got an outside chance of staying in contention to win the championship, the Drivers' Championship. Well, the United Kingdom are out of contention. Even though they're staying third, they're another 18 points behind, they're too far behind because only 50 points up for grabs. They are indeed 57 points behind. No, 56 points behind, which is too far a gap. And Hawthorne takes the lead of the race, gets ahead of Chuck Stevenson. And now we've got another problem. Ken Warren's had another crash, and it looks like Ken Warren is going to retire from this race. Okay. Going to turn 1, 3 wide. Gonzalez has hit him. Jose Fernando Gonzalez slams Wharton into the wall, and Wharton, yeah, that's the end of Wharton, looks like. Yes, him retiring from this race means he is no longer able to catch the leader can no longer catch the leaders in the Drivers' Championship. So that's Ken Warren's season pretty much over. And there's Ray Fisher and Fisher, Stevenson and Mansell in his 305 for second now, as they're trying to catch up to Mike Hawthorne, who is still in contention to win the championship, who's ahead of them by 2 seconds. And then a big gap is Gonzalez, who's in 5th place. Get really nervous around the corners when they're really close to each other, but thankfully they made it through safely. This Gonzalez, Berra and Ascari in their own battle, the 3 battle. This is for 5th place. And G33, who's fallen considerably back down 8th, is now in the battle with Sam Hanks right behind him. It's such a shame. He's already 3 laps down and we're halfway. So the biggest gainer is in fact the race leader of Mike Hawthorne. He started 9th and he's into 1st. And I say that Sean Berra is also gained 8 position. He started 13th. He's now in 6th, so he's gained 7. And then the next biggest gainer that would be Joseph Gonzalez, who went from 12th to 7th. And of course, biggest loser obviously is Grafton Reed. The other big loser is Johnny Claith. But he got spun out, so he went from 5th down to 11th. And look at this, Alberto Ascari has made his way to 4th, getting ahead of Robert Mansell. That's exactly what Ascari needed to try and get back ahead of him in the championship. But 4th is not going to be enough to get past him. So as it stands, Ascari get 12, Mansell on 10, and right now the gap between them in the championship is 6 points. Okay, I thought Stevenson was going to slip in the pits there, but that's not to be this case. Here comes Alberto Ascari trying to get past Chuck Stevenson, going to turn 1. Oh, there's so many cars right close to each other. Always get a little nervous when that's the case. There's Gonzalez in 5th, Berra 6th, Mansell's dropped down to 7th position. Mansell is slipping, just like how Giuseppe Farina is. And again, there's a bit of a cluster of cars here. This Berra battling with Gonzalez for 5th, and of course there's Robert Mansell trying to get himself into the fight. And we've had big crash. Two of the Grafton gone off again. Two of the Grafton had another crash. I mean, he is last. Okay, that's Jan Flinteman. Oh, he completely lost on his own. Okay, I'm guessing the damage. Yeah, the damage to his car is so bad that it's caused him to spin out. This Ken Warren still hasn't decided not to retire the car yet, even though he really should. Okay, so Grafton lost it in his zone. That's very unusual. Looks like he is going to get back in the trap, but there's the race leader. Oh, he's going to catch it. Oh, it's slowed down the race leader. Grafton has slowed down the race leader. That's really not good news for him. And oh, Okay, well, there goes Graffrey. I think Graffrey's going to have to call it there. I mean, he's not far off from being outside the 90% completion rule, so I think Graffrey has stopped, so I think he knows that his race is done. He cannot recover. That was a very, very foolish move there from Graffrey, though. Okay. We got more drama. I looked away for a second. Oh, we got a huge pile up of cars. Let's join Clay. So we got Stevenson, Berra, Farina, Manson. Oh my god. So, look. Oh, we got a huge grid of cars. Some of them are the championship leaders as well. There's Hawthorne is still Fisher second. Sky third. Okay, so Warriors finally retired the car. And this is a disaster for Chuck Stevenson, because this right there could end up putting an end to his championship run. Bear's there as well. There's Clay's. Clay's looks like he is out of the race as well, which is really unfortunate for the Belgian. He's been really unlucky this race. Yeah, it looks like Chuck Stevenson's out, and just like that, Chuck Stevenson is no longer able to win the championship. So that's it for Chuck Stevenson. He is done. Joey Clays is also done, which is really unfortunate. I mean, now Hawthorne is... What on earth has happened here? Oh, Jean Barris has got a bad car. Is completely ruined. Okay. So Jean Barris is going nowhere fast. I think he's going to end up... Yeah, he's going to end up holding drive behind. And Manson saying, thank you very much. I'll go past you for the championship. Okay, well, this has completely flipped everything on its head here. Manson is third. Okay. Yeah, that's Sean. Yeah, Sean Barrett is just gonna have. Yeah, Sean Barrett should just stop because he's going far too slowly. He's already 2 laps down. He's not even completed the lap that he had his big crash. And that's how slow he's going. So I think it's fair to say Sean Barrett should be done for the race. Yeah, and he's been putting. Okay, he's in the wall. So okay, see who put him to the wall then? Yeah, look. Hang on. Was that his own teammate Manson that did that? In the corner. Yes, it was Manson. He spun his own teammate out. Okay, so Manson's just basically put his own teammate out of his misery. Okay, so it's retirements galore. We're on lap 37.50. Surprised no one's pitted. Oh, okay, and now we've got problems. Manson's in the wall. Now Gonzalez has gone off. Okay, what's happened to these two then? Okay, it is retirements galore. Oh! Gonzalez spins out Alberto Ascari. Okay, spins out a championship contender, and he takes another championship contender with them. Okay, Sky's still moving, but Manson, it looks like Manson's out. Okay, just like that. That's probably just sealed the nation's competition right there, as well as sealing Manson's chances of trying to catch Ascari. Well, trying to catch Farina in the championship. So Mike also comes in the pits in the lead. Johnny Clays is finally out of the car. And Fisher comes in as well. Does Hanks is going to stay out. Hanks is pretty much anonymous in all this. Okay, so Hanks is now in the lead. It's Sky second and Farina third. Okay, now what about everyone else? Okay, Hawthorne is coming out of the pits. And look at this, Hawthorne says it's going to stay quite comfortably ahead of Fisher. Okay, let's jump out of the car as well. Just go wait for Graffrey and Manson to get out of their cars. Okay, so Sam Hanks leads. He'll probably be pitting this lap. That could end up being an advantage for Hawthorne. It comes out in 5th, or a major disadvantage. Okay, here comes. Okay, Hanks comes in, Farina comes in, Ascari also comes in. And Chico Landy's managed to find his way into 4th amongst all this. And oh, Chico Landy's right down the pit, and Fritz Rees is in the way. Oh, Chico Landy takes out Fritz Rees. Okay, this is turning to be quite a chaotic race. There's Hawthorne coming around the corner. Hawthorne's going to stay comfortably ahead. Okay, so that's Rees out. Okay. So Hawthorne's into the lead. Imagine Fisher. Oh no! Fisher is stuck! He's stuck behind Reeves. Oh, Chico Landy, what have you done? So that's pretty much ruined the race as well. Okay, so Hawthorne's going to be well ahead. Fritz Reeves is out of the car. But Fisher looks like he's going to be able to get moving, but that's put him all the way down the order. Hanks comes out second, Afrina third, Sky fourth, Landy going to fifth, but really how this race has gone, I highly doubt the organizers are going to be happy with Landy's performance. This time Hanks setting a personal best, a 10th faster than Farina going to turn 1. Giuseppe Farina has luck turned around dramatically to be in second. This definitely puts him in a strong position to stay ahead of Ascari, and I think it might be enough to send Manzon out of the championship. But I think he'll still technically be in it, still technically be able to win it, but I think the odds will be so low for him to pull it off. I think it's fair to say it's going to be Farina or Ascari that wins the championship this Olympic year. And of course, with both French drivers out of the race, Italy secures the nation's championship with 1 round to spare of one of the drivers who remain in this race. So the only loser is really Fisher, down to 6 after getting caught up by Fritz Reeves' crash. But the biggest gainer is Chico Landy, who started in 14th, he's in 5th. Gianbianco Crespo also gained 9th position. They started 19th and 18th and are now 9th and 10th. Okay, good to know. As we start lap 46 of 50, Hawthorne. Well, look at now, we've got a big crash. Yeah, Flintsman and Bianco have gone off. Flintsman and Bianco have had a huge coming together. Flintsman's still going. And Gianbianco's still going. Okay, they're both still in the race. Okay, let's find what on earth happened there. That was quite sudden. Okay, let's see. Flintsman. What's their contact between them? Okay, going around turn 3 to Gianbianco turn in. Okay. Oh, Gianbianco turned into him, sent himself spinning. Oh, what on earth were you doing there, Bianco? That was very, very dumb for him to do. Really terrible, really bad driving there from him. Well, he's into the pits now. I guess I'll explain what he was up to, but come on. Okay, Jan Fleming's going to be, well, it's going to be comfortable in 8th position. And here goes Mike Hawthorne coming around the turn number 4 to start the final lap of the Indy 500 race. It's been a very, very great, an amazing performance from the Brits. As Mike Hawthorne is going to go around and get his 2nd win of the season. Interestingly, his other win is coming from the other oval we've done this season. He's had 2 second places and a 3rd. So a decent amount of results there from Mike Hawthorne throughout the season. But the 2 oval races have been where he absolutely shone this season. Here we are down in turn 3. Now just 1 more corner to go, and Mike Hawthorne for the 2nd time this season is going to win an oval race in the 1952 Formulalympics. Mike Hawthorne wins for the United Kingdom, and a gold medal for the UK and for himself. Amazing performance from Hawthorne. Free looks like he's just about going to beat Sam Hanks. If Hanks was to get ahead of Hawthorne, he might have increased his chances slightly. They might actually beat him in the final race, but it's just not to be. Giuseppe Farina is going to come around in 2nd position. Unless Sam Hanks could get right. Oh, Sam Hanks is going to steal 2nd. Hanks just snuck in and got 2nd place off Farina. Alberto Ascari finishes in 4th. Oh, good performance from the American in his home race to make up for Stevenson's retirement. Well, this has been a really interesting result. With Wharton and Stevenson out of contention, Robert Manson might be out of contention as well, but once we get to the F1 Championship table, we will see. But more importantly, in the nations table, Italy can no longer be caught with just one round left to go. So Giuseppe Farina, Alberto Ascari, and of course Luigi Villaresi have sealed the Nations Championship title. So what an amazing race. This has been an incredible season. So without further ado, let's get to the F1, the F2 Championship, F1 Championship and the Nations table to confirm everything and see where we go from here. We'll begin with the F1 Drivers' Championship. So 4 drivers are still in contention to win the Drivers' Championship coming to the final round of the season. That's both Italian drivers, Robert Manzon and Mike Hawthorne, are still in contention. With Farina and Ascari, there's only 12 points separating them, while the gap between Hawthorne and Farina is 22 points. So realistically, Hawthorne would need to win the final round of the season and hope that Ascari or Farina don't score any points. With 4 points also separating him and Manzon, a win would be enough for him to pass Manzon, but a lot of bad luck will have to come round Ascari and Farina's way for Hawthorne to pull it off. In the F2 Championship, it is a 3-horse race to win the championship in F2 between both Italian drivers and Jim McGrath for the United States, with 18 points separating McGrath and Taruffi. McGrath would have to bank on a race win and get some bad luck from Taruffi and Villaresi, as only 2 points separate both Italian drivers to win the F2 Championship. Last but not least, the Nations Table and confirmation: Italy have officially won the Nations Table, as it is mathematically impossible for France, or the United Kingdom for that matter, to catch them. So essentially it's going to be a 2-horse race for second place between the UK and France. So what are my final thoughts about this race? Well, this race has had a huge impact in both F1 and F2, with 4 drivers mathematically in contention to win the championship at the final round, and 3 drivers in F2 to win the final round as well. But of course, the Nations Table with Italy's early dominance in the season, that definitely contributed heavily for them to win the Nations Table with a round to spare. However, don't count the non-Italian drivers that are still in contention. Jim McGrath can still pull it off. Hawthorne and Manson can still pull it off. But they really need to hope that Italy's luck runs out, just like when they had a bad spell when they kept getting double DNS. But will a double DNS happen in the final round in both F1 and F2? It's certainly possible, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I hope you enjoyed this very, very dramatic race, and I hope you'll be looking forward to a very, very dramatic finish to the season. So see you for the finale.